I'm Indira Kannan in New York. It's funny, you can find almost any cuisine under the sun in this city, but try looking for great biryani and it's quite a hunt. Still, if you're searching for any kind of desi food in New York, there is one obvious place to start. Manhattan's Murray Hill neighborhood around Lexington Avenue and 28th Street now has so many desi restaurants, it's called Curry Hill, and that's where I headed. But first I have a confession to make. I'm a pakka vegetarian, so I cannot really vouch for the perfect biryani. And let's face it, nobody's going to accept veg biryani as the real thing. So I decided to recruit some help, and I have with me here Dan Nainan, who's a well-known stand-up comedian. Dan, you're half Indian, you're half Japanese, and born and raised in America. A bit like biryani yourself, would you say?
Right, in the sense that it's a mixture, yes. I guess you can say that, yes.
And I'm told that you're also a bit of a biryani connoisseur, though not in New York. Tell us a little bit about your history with biryani.
Well, there's a place called Delhi Palace in Pasadena, in Los Angeles, where I used to live. And every few weeks I would go there and have dinner with some friends there. And I'm the kind of guy that always has the same thing. When I go to a restaurant and I like it, I will just order the same thing over and over. And I had their chicken biryani, and it was absolutely magnificent.
That's a lot of biryani. I'm really tempted to sort of come up with a wisecrack, but then I can't really think of anything right now, and besides, you're the comedian.
About biryani?
Yeah.
I don't really see biryani as like a source of humor per se, but if you give me some time, maybe I can think about some biryani jokes.
And of course, biryani is pretty serious business for us right now. What do you look for in an ideal biryani?
Well, of course, the main thing I like about biryani is when they put raisins in it. For some reason, that adds like all this flavor. And after having gone to that place in Pasadena and going to other restaurants and getting the biryani and not having raisins, I was really, really disappointed.
And perhaps we'll find the real thing today.
That would be wonderful because I'm starving.
Yeah, me too. In fact, we've already shortlisted our winners, so let's just cut to the chase here. Our destination, Copper Chimney, a new restaurant cum bar started by the owners of Pongal, a South Indian vegetarian favorite, and an earlier establishment called Biryani, sold off after the 9/11 attacks. One of the partners at Copper Chimney is famed for his biryani. The biryani here at Copper Chimney is called Nazir's Dum Biryani. It's named after you. So what's in that biryani?
It's basically the biryani is, I make it dum because I learned it from my father. And that's why it is all like steamed up, and you make the biryani.
And what kind of demand is there for biryani in New York? I mean, what are customers here really looking for?
They're really looking for some authentic Indian biryani, like the way like South Indians, the way we make it. Some of them want Hyderabadi biryani, some want like South Indian biryani. So we just said, why not have it as here, the South Indian biryani as such.
And are you able to make it exactly the way it's made in India, or do you have to make some changes for the fact that you're based in New York?
Basically, a little bit changes I do it because here people do not have it that spicy as we used to have. And you don't get curd here, as less when we make it sour curd here. And I don't want people to have curd and get throat infection or fall sick because of it. So I use the yogurt, which is the sweet yogurt here. And so the spices level here is much less than what we usually have in India.
And now you've made biryani for some pretty famous customers at a previous restaurant that you used to own in New York. Tell us about that.
Well, in 2000 I used to own a restaurant called Biryani, and I had a request from one of my friend Nicholas, who is also a Buddhist monk, and he was closely connected with Dalai Lama. So he requested me to make some biryani that he could feed Dalai Lama with it. So I did make some biryani, and it was, taken to him, and it was much appreciated.
Dan and I were ready for the big moment, and the biryani arrived. Lamb biryani for him and vegetable biryani for me. Okay, this is the point where I remember that I'm actually working, which is why I'm holding a mic instead of a fork. But Dan here has been digging into the biryani, so let's ask him how that is. So what's the biryani like?
That's absolutely magnificent.
And you're the biryani expert, so have you got what you wanted?
I did. I specifically asked for the raisins, and he obliged, and he's got this magnificent chutney which he suggested, which I don't think I've ever had before, which is shocking for a half Indian guy. But no, it's incredible. In fact, I'm going to bring my girlfriend here.
Good idea. Well, so next time you're in New York and get the biryani blues, head over here to Copper Chimney at Curry Hill. And now if you'll excuse us, we'll get on with our biryani. But first, here's a message from both of us to our viewers.
Eid Mubarak.